Hi, how you doing? Welcome once again to my UAsk, IAnswer series. So what's this week's question? You may well ask. It was actually sent in, kind of, by Patel, who's the UK chair of the Change Management Institute and also works as a business change lead for one of the big four. Which one, Ket? Why the secrecy? Sorry, only joking. I actually asked Ket to send in this question because he uploaded a post onto LinkedIn which kind of got quite a bit of interest, and it was something that I'm particularly interested in as well. The question Ket asked was, how do you get projects to learn from past lessons when all they really want to do is start the next thing? Might be an idea just to paraphrase some of the things that Ket said in his post. How many of you either contribute to a project post-mortem or run them yourselves? Can you put your hand on your heart and say, once complete, it didn't just gather dust somewhere on a shelf? Post-mortems lead to lessons learned only if you apply them. If we just took the 2 top lessons learned from a post-mortem, I suspect we would be in a much better place. I replied, as I do, post-implementation audit or after-action review, call them what you will, is just another often forgotten element of change management. But it shouldn't be, because it is actually the source of some invaluable information. There were a couple of other interesting comments to the post. For example, Ian Buttery said, action learning is a key CM activity for me, particularly effective when carried out on a regular basis during a lengthy assignment. Once you get the approach nailed, it doesn't have to be that much of an overhead. Interesting. And Gozia Valenchik, I hope I got your name right, Gozia, said, in organisations, we often see these lessons learned techniques. Some projects do that. Some organisations are better at it, some organisations are worse at it. However, fundamentally, it's all down to mindset. We should be focusing on what went well and what could we do to make it better. Great comments, thank you. Referring back to my reply to Ket, I mentioned post-implementation audits and after-action reviews. So I'll just focus on those for a minute or so, if I may. So what's a post-implementation audit, or PIA? It's an evaluation of the project's goals and achievements as measured against the project plan, budget, time deadlines, quality of deliverables, specifications, and client satisfaction. And what about an after-action review? An after-action review, or AAR, is a structured review or debriefing for analysing what happened, why it happened, and how it can be done better the next time. Sorry. Again, I'm going to come up with my one of my favourite type phrases which I've used in a previous video. Same, but different. They are kind of the same because they are all capturing lessons learned, but they're slightly different approaches. I think you get my drift, hopefully. Anyway, I've done both. Yep. So first up, let me just give you an example of the contents of a couple of PIAs. Post-implementation audits I've done. The first one was a fairly succinct one, short. It can contain key findings, drilling down into detailed findings, current situation, achievement of costs and benefits, future activities, improvements, and recommendations. The second one, a little bit lengthier, a little bit more convoluted, working to strategy and plans, working with people, project meetings, communication activity, project support, stakeholder feedback, lessons learned, and of course recommendations again. Secondly, the content of an after-action review, or AAR. Very simply, 2 columns. Yeah? One titled Do Again, the other titled Do Differently, but obviously with associated reasons as to why and why not. So that kind of covers the vehicles for capturing lessons learned and capturing the information. But how do you actually get people to act on those recommendations, and those lessons learned? As Gozia mentioned, it's all about mindset, but there's also a leadership issue. Let me explain. The mindset issue is that there's a need to allow time in current project plans to do these reviews and to build time into new project plans to act on the learning. I keep on doing that, sorry, I'm not really copying President Trump, honest, so I'll try and stop that. The leadership challenge is to implement and support this, the above, but that is wholly dependent on if leaders are milestone driven or leaders are learning driven. There's a general lack of discipline in reviewing performance during or after completion of a project. As an example, if the culture within an organisation is all about celebrating, yes, success, we've done it, we've got there, we've gone live, rather than taking a step back, to consider how things might have been done differently or better, then the first vital step will be totally forgotten. When so much has been learned, it's a real shame that this knowledge just dies at the end of a project. I kind of get now where Ket's coming from when he talks about Postmortem, talking about knowledge just dying. Changing the mindset of an organisation to one where employees are encouraged to share what they have learned, both the good and the bad, starts with an understanding of why it's important. Sorry, I'm doing it again, aren't I? Stop it. Why it's important and what the potential wider benefits are. First and foremost, it helps to promote employee engagement. Investing time to really listen, shows supportive leadership and facilitates a positive working environment. By asking employees to provide feedback and express their opinions in a formal way, an organisation can also create greater empathy between the team members, where there is a better understanding of each role and how they contribute to get the job done. At a practical level, grabbing the bull by the horns and providing a constructive forum for people to vent their frustrations means any issues are resolved quickly, and potential toxic gossip, another phrase, sounds a bit like a rock band, doesn't it? Is redirected into a more productive conversation. It's vital, therefore, that organisations pay more than just lip service to the idea of capturing lessons learned. I've done it again. Good grief. It's a bit like stopping touching your face, isn't it, during this crisis? It's difficult because it's natural. Anyway, where was I? To the idea of capturing lessons learned, it will undermine any chance of successfully delivering any identified benefits. The one missing piece for me, if there's an agreement to actually undertake these reviews and capture those lessons learned and act on them, is whose role is it to make sure that these actually happen or are done? As Ket asked the question, I'm kind of wondering whether he thinks it should be a change management responsibility. Not sure. Or, as this is all about allowing times into project plans, etc., is it a project manager's responsibility? Okay. Me, I kind of think it sits in both camps, to be honest. I think it should be a change manager who actually does the reviews, but then I think it's the project manager that needs to allow, obviously, time in their plans to act on them. Now, do not get me on the subject of project management versus change management. It is a real pet subject of mine. Unless someone wants to send in a question related to that subject. Hint, hint. Sorry. Okay, that's it again. And in the words of Queen, and another one gone, another one gone, another one bites the dust, and another one bites the dust. See you next week with another UAsk, IAnswer session. Don't forget to check out my other videos on the Highway of Change's YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Stay safe, everybody. Stay in. If you have to go out, keep your distance. Don't touch your face, says he, scratching his nose, but I'm a little bit sweaty. It's a bit hot here in Thailand at this time of the year. Wash your hands thoroughly, because if you do that, it won't last forever. Thanks for listening.